What do we do when inflation is here? You know, the wealth transfer, the stages are escalating. You know, people are quitting their job. People are losing their jobs. You got prices increasing crazy fast, whether you're talking about the housing market, whether you're talking about the used car market, whether you're talking about the new car market, whether you're talking about food, whether you're talking about gasoline, transportation costs, everything. Inflation is everything. What does it do? Inflation erodes your wealth. How does it erode your wealth? It requires you to spend or pay more dollars for the same things, for the same heat from last year, for the same food that you bought last week or last year, for the same gasoline that you put in your car. You know, it's the same octane. You know, it's, hey, man, this is 87 octane. What's good, man? It's the same kind of a gas I was buying last week. Why is it? And this is a big deal. This is a theft of your labor. This is a theft of your wealth. But not only do you have to know these things, you have to be able to work against these things. And in doing so, you can not only feel good about your efforts, but have those efforts pay in spades. Literally, I would say, because, you know, spades, you know, you can buy a lot with those things, right? You accept spades? Let me quit playing around. So what can you do? Because inflation is here. I just went through a bunch of articles. I think it was very few articles that didn't say anything about inflation. It's the highest it's been in 30 years. It's not transitory. It's this, it's that. It's the boogeyman. This happens all the time in societies that have fiat currencies that aren't backed by any real asset. You know, and inflation has been ticking up and becoming more and more significant over the past, I'd say, roughly a little over 100 years. The value or the purchasing power of the dollar has been reduced by over 98% since the inception of the Federal Reserve dollar or the Federal Reserve note. So how do you keep more of your money? How do you combat when a major currency or the currency that you use within your country begins to inflate? I'm going to say 5 things that you should do. You can write these down. You can take notes in your brain yard. It's cool, whatever you want to do. Number 1, you want to hedge. You want to hedge against inflation. You want to get insurance. You have insurance for your car. You got vehicle insurance. You got homeowners insurance. If you own a home, you got renter's insurance. If you rent an apartment, if you don't have renter's insurance and you rent an apartment, you probably should get it. You have dental insurance. You got medical insurance. Hopefully you got some sort of life insurance. How do you hedge against inflation? You get insurance for the currency, insurance for the paper money. What is insurance for paper money? It's gold and silver. You got insurance for everything else. Gold and silver is insurance for the paper money. So you want to hedge. You want to acquire gold and silver. You want to acquire real assets, real estate, classic cars, diamonds, emeralds, pearls. But easily you can acquire silver and gold. Acquire it now while you still can. Trust and believe that within your lifetime, you will see a drastic and functional social, entire world social view or perception on silver. Mark my words, y'all. So you want to hedge. You want to hedge. You want to get insurance for your paper money. You want to get gold and silver. You want to get specifically, in my opinion, and I don't give legal advice, I don't give trading advice, I don't give tax advice, I'm not giving you advice. But in my opinion, I'm grabbing American Eagles, American Eagle silver coins, and American Eagle gold coins. That's what I'm doing. You can do what you want to do. Number 2, you want to reduce your cash holdings as much as possible. The less holdings of cash that you have, the less inflation is affecting this portion of your wealth. Anything denominated in U.S. Federal Reserve notes. Now, a lot of people, you might have a Roth IRA, you might have a 401k that's tied up that you can't touch, you can't get your hands on. A lot of you remember in the 2008-2009 financial crisis, your 401k was cut in half. Some people more than half. And you're just now seeing it get back to levels where you feel comfortable. But imagine if you didn't lose half and then continue to gain over the last 10 or so years. The only way to really do that, in my opinion, is to reduce your cash holdings, dollar-denominated debt, as much as possible. Whatever that means to you, however you feel comfortable. You know, you want to do these things while you still can right now. These things, there are laws that are going into place in January. You know, I spoke on one of them, that $600 law. People thought, oh, it got repealed. They said it's $10,000. Okay, cool. Whatever. You believe what you want to believe. That's going into law. So your dollar denominated, you got treasury bonds, but you know, this audience probably not. You got a savings account with cash in it, cash in your savings account. You want to reduce your cash holdings as much as possible. You know, the simple thing is to buy silver and gold. Now, you're going to need cash. You got to pay bills. You got to buy food and stuff. So you need cash. I'm not saying get rid of all your cash. I'm just saying, you know, if you have cash savings and cash holdings, reduction. Number 3, I suggest y'all start stocking up on food and other items. You know, stock up. Get the things that you know that you eat, the items that you know that you need. You know, where you can, get them now. Get 2 packs of rice instead of 1. Get 3 packs of noodles instead of 1. Maybe you need to, you go buy salt or whatever. Maybe you should grab 2 containers of salt. You know, don't go broke buying a bunch of extra stuff. But just here and there, you grab a can of beans. Usually grab 2 cans of beans. Especially non-perishable foods. You want to start getting them, getting a nice little area in your apartment or in your house where you got non-perishables. I highly suggest that, You get, 3 months minimum of food. Just worst case scenario, you have no money, you can't buy food, or there's no food available. You should have at least 3 months worth of food. And I say you should have at least 3 months worth of, bills set aside. Now, some people keep that 3 months of bills set aside in gold and silver. And if anything would happen, they have earmarked certain precious metals that, this right here is the emergency money. We just converted it into gold and silver. So if we need to produce money for an emergency, this is the gold and silver that will be converted into fiat currency. Be very specific. I recommend Four, buy now. Prices will rise. If you have something that you were thinking about buying, that you were putting off, that you had on your list, that you wanted to grab, and I don't know. Grab it now, straight up, because the prices will rise in the future. So the inflation is going to hit you. You're going to pay more for that same item in the future than you would have today or this week or this month. So don't put off purchases. If it's a monetary issue, if you don't have the money, if you don't have the funds, yeah, you got to do what you got to do. But if you got the funds, if you have the means, and you've just been putting it off because whatever. If it's cool with you, fine. But you'll be paying more for that item. That same thing, you'll be paying more for that in the future. Especially when we start hitting up into 2022. It's going to get real in 2022. So I want y'all to be ready. So, if you can, buy now. Those purchases you've been putting off, buy now. And finally, number 5, do your best to reduce your expenses. Maybe you don't need Disney Plus and Showtime and HBO Now, and the Hulu subscription. Maybe you don't need 4 subscriptions. Maybe you can get away with just 1 or 2. Call the phone company, your cell phone company. Maybe there's something that you can do to reduce the price of the cell phone bill. You got wireless at your house. What you need an unlimited data package for? Is there any plans where I can get a certain amount of data and pay less than I pay right now? Ask the questions. Most of the time we sit in wireless network areas anyways, How much do you really need the cell phone data? Real quick, we got about a minute and a half left in the broadcast. If you're listening online, you want to call in. Calling number is 563-999-3625. Otherwise, you will be disconnected, and you'll have to check out, the rest of the show when it is archived. So, about 60 seconds left in the broadcast. Excuse me. I was just messing around. So yeah, 563-999-3625. Blah blah. But yeah, reduce your expenses. Cell phones, subscription expenses. Maybe you got some items that you'd like to, buy, some food items you'd like to buy that you don't need. Maybe you don't need all that ice cream or all that candy. Maybe you don't need to eat pork, beef, chicken, and fish. Maybe you can just eat beef and chicken, Or maybe you can just eat chicken and fish. Do you have applications on your phone that you pay for every month or something like that? You might want to check that. But do what you can to reduce your expenses as much as you can. Because number 1, it's going to cost you less money. Number 2, the less things that you are dependent on, the less problems you'll have if these things are no longer available to you. Reduce your dependencies. Think about all the dependencies that you have and begin as best as you can to reduce them. And I don't mean dependencies like, oh man, I need some water. Well, reduce your dependency on water, bro. I don't mean it like that. I'm talking about financial dependencies that cause a financial obligation. That's what I'm talking about. Call your insurance and see if you can get a discount. Call your cable company or your satellite company or whoever and see if you can get a discount. Reduce your expenses. Buy less. Reuse. Go to Goodwill and buy clothes. Take them straight to the laundromat and wash them and wear that. You ain't got to buy brand new. You can buy used. But these are ways that you're gonna combat the loss of your wealth through inflation. Buying used clothes, even the used clothes market is going to increase, but it's not going to increase like the new clothes market. Used cars, look at the used car market. See what happened since the panorama started. Used car market has increased over 30%. It's kind of interesting that, that's pretty much how much the monetary supply has increased. But yeah. Imagine the person who was in 2018 who wanted to get a different car, who wanted to get a used car, but was like, I'm going to wait until next year when the price might be a little cheaper. Yeah, okay. Price of that 2016, whatever it was, is not what it was. It's not today what it was in 2018. I'll tell you that. I will tell you that. But that's it, These are the things that I would say do now. Do them now. Do them right now. Hedge. Hedge against this inflation. Get insurance for your paper money, your currency. Convert your paper holdings into gold and silver. Number 2, reduce your cash holdings as much as possible. Do it. And think about it in the terms of dollar denominated. If it's valued in dollars, as much as you can, reduce it. Number 3, stock up on food and other necessary items as much as you can. Don't go crazy. But the shortages have already begun to resurface. Food shortages. I saw something about the toilet paper shortages coming back. They're starting to see a lot of shortages again. So you need to start stocking up on food and other items, because I don't think shortages in general are going anywhere anytime in the future. I really don't. Number 4, buy now if you're putting off purchases. If you can afford it, buy it now. Don't put it off anymore, because inflation is here. The price is going to increase. And number 5, do your best to reduce your expenses. Inflation is here. So if you have any expense, the amount of that expense is going to increase over time. I don't know if you remember, Netflix used to be $4.99 a month. Like $5 and some change. When they first started streaming and popping and stuff, and I think you can do $7.99 or something. You could it was like 3 different tiers, but it was like $4, $5 a month. How much is Netflix now? Like $20 a month? And they don't even send the DVDs no more. You can't even get DVDs no more. All you can do is stream, and it's still more expensive than it was when they were sending you DVDs in the mail, man. There's always going to be an increase in prices typically. Now, you have the competition between, the natural increase in pricing over time, which predominantly, in my opinion, has to do with the increases in monetary supply or the inflation of the currency. But you also have the counter weight or counter effect of the decrease in overall prices through technology and increases in efficiencies. A pair of boots used to cost a lot because, they would one guy would hand make them. Your pair of boots over like 2 weeks. Took them 2 weeks to make your pair of boots. You think that was cheap? Now they can make like 40 pair of boots every 45 seconds or something like that. The division of labor, as well as efficiencies that have been achieved in manufacturing and technology, the introduction of technology to cheapen the cost of manufacturing, have the effect of the reduction of prices. So you have inflation that is contributing to the increase of prices, and you have technology and efficiencies that are working to decrease prices, but then you have bottlenecks, and you have stimulus, and then you have bankruptcies and currency issues, currency wars, and just take care of yourself, take care of your family, and protect your wealth. Inflation is a silent killer. People don't know it. People don't know it exists. They can't explain it. What is inflation? It's over time. The goods and services that you require or desire, they cost more and more. That $100 gets less and less over time. $100, How far could you get it with $100 in 1991 versus 2021? That's inflation. And when you're able to quantify it, you're able to understand how much of an issue, of a threat it is to your private estate, to your private wealth, to your personal wealth, to your family wealth. And for the free, not for the fee. I just want to put y'all on the game. I want y'all to know this. I need y'all to know this so y'all can take the proper steps to protect yourself. Because no one's going to come out the sky and save you. You ain't going to walk out your house tomorrow morning on your way to work and a brother fall off the tree like, hit the ground like, ugh. Get up and say, yo, I'm here to save you. Start brushing himself off. I know your life is rough and you got to pay these bills and you hate your job. So here, I got your back here. I'm going to write you this check for $4 million. And you're going to be good. Don't worry about it. And they hand you the check. And you woke up because you're dreaming. It's not going to happen. No one is coming to save you. We need to save ourselves. And the only way to do that is by acquiring the proper knowledge and applying that knowledge properly. Because as you know, incorrect information incorrectly applied can get you hurt. Correct information incorrectly applied can get you hurt. So come holler at us here at the Foundation. Email me, admin@welcometothefoundation.com if you're interested in a consultation. If you would like to inquire as to the legendary and ever so elusive trustee training, shoot me an email, admin@welcometothefoundation.com. It would be dope to hear from you. And check out this website, welcometothefoundation.com. You know, sign up for the email list. Exclusive content. I think there's an email went out today. And you missed it if you're not in the email list. Check out the education tab, you know. Foundation Trust Primer, Foundation Trust Series, Part 1, Part 2, Part 3. Passport No Social, Part 1, Part 2. We just, we're just trying to help free you here at the Foundation. And, the PDF section, free information. Grab and go. Grab it and read it. Because you definitely need it. And that's it's an educational mission over here. And, we appreciate the support from everyone who supports us. We also applaud the beginner. Every time we applaud the beginner. And, those of you who are on the path, those of you who are in the chambers, those of you who are in trustee training are on your way, transitioning private, establishing your private estate so that you can pass your wealth on to the next generation without it being taxed again through probate, court, death tax, inheritance tax, generation skipping tax. There's a lot of taxes you got to worry about, and there's more coming. So yeah, if you're interested, business trust, asset trust, family trust, private family foundation, which is a tax-exempt entity, email me, admin@welcometothefoundation.com. Jump into this educational training. But yeah, that's the show. That's the show. It went long. It's been real. Yeah. It's been fun, and I can say it's been real fun. Inflation is here. It's like it's a tsunami. You heard about what a tsunami is, right? It's large waves from the ocean. It destroys everything, right? We have a financial tsunami coming. Inflation is it. Look, check this out. So in a tsunami, if you don't know what a tsunami is, you can die because things happen and they're pretty peculiar. They're pretty cool. What happens is the beach, the water from the ocean, it draws back So the beach becomes extended. You can walk out into the sand, quarter mile, half mile, where there used to be water. You know, you're picking up stuff, you find this stuff that's been underwater for a long time. The water, the shoreline retracts into the sea. And you'd be like, whoa, this is cool. You got people out there dancing and picking up stuff. You know, when that happens, that happens right before a tsunami happens. The water is drawn away from the shorelines. There was a huge wave coming, and it's about to tear everything up. And if you don't know what you're looking at, it may be peculiar, it may be kind of cool, it may be nothing. You may not even notice it. And that's what's happening right now. Inflation is here. It's here. It's unequivocal. And you can sit there and be upset and yell and shake your fist and say, let's go Brandon, and try to vote someone else in. Look, protect yourself. Do the 5 things. Hedge, gold and silver, reduce your cash holdings, your all dollar denominated debt, stock up on food and other items, buy now if you're putting off purchases, and reduce your expenses. That may not completely save you, but it will definitely help if you take these steps right now. You will be thanking you will be thanking the foundation in the future. So with that being said, I trust you were able to learn something from this episode of the Foundation. Inflation is here. Do this now. Put this out, for educational purposes, informational purposes. I guess in some cases, entertainment purposes. Hey, whatever. I guess if it entertains you, cool. But please let it educate you so that you can make moves to protect yourself, protect your wealth, and protect those that you care about. I feel, being a steward of your wealth, being a steward of your life, of your time, your energy on this earth is one of the biggest responsibilities outside of being a parent. So, I guess, if you haven't already, step your game up. Email me, admin@welcometothefoundation.com. I appreciate you checking out the show. I do the show for y'all, man. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. I believe in you in ways that you probably wouldn't understand or believe, because I know you can do it because I did it. And that knowledge is the impetus behind this show. Take care of y'all. Y'all, look, it's all about you. It's all about your family. So, as I said, I trust that you learned something. I will not be taking any calls. I'm sorry. I know I see all the hands up. I love you. I appreciate y'all. Email me, admin@welcometothefoundation.com. Book a consultation. Why don't you book a consultation? Let's chop it up. Let's figure it out. Let's get you right. Let's get you sorted. But there it is. I appreciate y'all. Y'all have a great week, Make sure that, you take care of yourself. Make sure you do the things that are necessary today so that you can be comfortable tomorrow. Don't just live for today. Live today and build tomorrow at the same time. Love those close to you who love you. Be good to those people who are good to you. Be nice. Be appreciative. Because wealth is much more than just items and physical possessions. It is those strong relationships. It are those people that have our backs, that love us. It's those wonderful experiences we have and the laughter that we share. So, I'm just here to assist you in getting those things out of your life that do not make you happy, and that's tore up finances, because it affects us all. When your finances are tore up, man, are you happy? You log into the bank account and it's just looking tore up. I'm mad at everything. I'm mad at traffic, man. Like, man, all this traffic out there, man, in front of my house. Your money ain't looking the way you want it to. Man, I'm mad at the floor. The squeaky floor? Man. Well, I got a house of squeaky floors. Let me quit playing. I'm in a great mood. I trust you're in a great mood. I trust you will have a great week. You know, you enjoy yourself. You know, and yeah, man, just have a good time. You know, take some time out for you. Do some yoga or some breaths or eat some Butterfingers or whatever. Whatever makes you happy. You know, not the Butterfingers. That stuff's not good for you. You know, eat some fruit. Eat some fruit and feel loved. But I'm out of here, y'all. I love y'all. You know, that's why I do the show, man. Appreciate y'all checking out the foundation, especially those of y'all who have been listening for this far. If you made it this far, you're truly an ally of the foundation, and I appreciate and thank you. So, yeah, have a wonderful week. Enjoy yourself. Take care of yourself. Make sure you say 10 things that you're thankful for before you go to sleep tonight and every night. It is important. And I will catch you next week. Yeah, I'll be here next week. I was thinking I'll be here. I'll catch y'all next week here on the Foundation, on the hottest radio network on the planet, High Frequency Radio Network. I am your host, Sot L. That's Seeker of Truth L, Speaker of Truth L. And as always, it has been a pleasure. Y'all be easy, be safe, and take care of yourself. Peace to the gods.
Doing this thing all the way live. High Frequency Radio.